Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new day of European Pro League Season 25 as Hydra is going to face off against, seems like a familiar team. I might have seen it before. But yeah, it looks like Rabotiagi is going to be replaced by Eternal Academy. As far as I can tell, the rosters are changed, but it looks like as well, Eternal Academy are going to be inheriting the points from the Rabotiagi gang. I will double check on those results just in case, but as far as I can tell, they are the same. You can currently see me on stream, but yeah. Eternal Academy is kind of a fresh little take on, how should we say, very, very young talent. So overall, BB team or Bikini Bottom team had a harder time facing off against the Robotiagi gang. The Eternal Academy lineup is going to be a little bit different. Still looking into the details, but yeah, at the very, very same time, Eternal Academy is going to be drafting an extremely team fight heavy lineup, as far as I can tell. Meanwhile, Hydra trying to kind of following the metas more or less, putting in the Dazzle and the Ricky at the very same lane, getting that jump off onto the enemy should be very easy in the later on team fights. But as far as I can tell, this Ricky is gonna be on the mid lane. But yeah, all that clearly happened on the chart. If you check, is just point inheritance for the Eternal Academy team. Over onto the bikini bottom side. Man, I'm still checking on yesterday's results. The Puck and the Huskar get banned. A bit of an indicator that Hydra might want to go on a dive with some kind of strength hero later on. Bringing that with the Jakiro. The PA still remains in the pool. And even so, Eternal Academy are baited into banning the Ember Spirit despite having the Ricky in play. It's also a big invoker to yeah, as we're getting things sorted out here. You can also check out the stats, as of course, Dota Pro Tracker is still rather useful, right? But for another source of team stats, metastats, all the stats, and more, check out our partner site, Cyberscore, cyberscore.live. It does not have the pubs, but all the professional matches are nicely sorted for your viewing pleasure. As a Pangolier makes an appearance, this could be a bit of a switcheroo with the Ricky Carey Dazzle offlane, and the Pangolier on the mid, or the Pango on the offlane, Ricky Carey and Dazzle mid. With Eternal Academy still eyeing up a potential charge play. And they will finish off the draft with a Queen of Pain for that backline jump all too confidently. I am on the screen now. I just noticed on the live feed. But yeah, as we get things settled here, my name is Dota. Of course, I'm going to be your host for the first match of the day. And we have a lovely, roster of matches coming at you. And Amiga Gaming versus Endgame is after this one. Team Lynx and Zero Gravity. And to end the day, of course, it's going to be Asakura versus 4 Pirates. So yeah, still third day of the group stage. We are in play. Sorry, a little bit of admin work, but yeah. Let's get into this game number 1 between the two, and let's see if the debut series here for Eternal Academy is going to be either successful or going to be a bit of a cluster bust, as obviously playing TB into the Dazzle is not the most advised decision, but obviously self-hate with the deep jumps has to be a little bit careful. Getting caught out by the Warlock or the Mars is going to be kind of fatal, as of course Costa can just follow up with the Queen of Pain, going for the Sonic Wave. But yeah, all in all, Fatal Bonds, Chaotic Offering, yeah, Spear of Mars and the Arenas. That's going to be a rough one for Self-Hate, but we shall see if he can make it work. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this game number 1. The question does remain, are you ready? Please tell me who you are voting for. Of course, the Hydra lineup has been here in the previous season as well. They made a rather heroic run as much as they could last time, eventually falling to 4 Pirates 2-1. They made it all the way to the playoffs. No, sorry, they didn't fall to 4 Pirates. They fell to Asakura in the lower bracket final. My bad. I didn't think they lost that one. Interestingly enough, yeah, rechecking the data, it does seem like they went rather deep. This time around, it's going to be. See, they do have the team fight advantage in my eyes, standing inside, but especially when the Macro Pirates online with the dual breath and weave. It's going to be kind of a painful time for any kind of team. Sorry for the technical difficulties during the draft, but I was still trying to figure out the data play. Being right with Tiaga and the others, but now it's time for murder, as Maloy Dotos is gonna be approached by Melajul and the boys. Proletari already claiming that first blood on that Dazzle, and we do know that the Dazzle is kind of the offlane meta pick these days. Yeah, I've seen a few stunts with it on the mid lane as well. I would not be surprised if in other regions it's going to be active on the other side of the globe. As of course, if you are interested in the literally other side of the globe, Dota Southeast Asian Tournament, Season 4 of EPL SCA is currently going on in our other channel, EPL Dota EN_EN1. So that is Twitch t.tv/EPL Dota_EN1. Do check on that if you are interested. Do apologize in advance for the Eternal Academy people. I might be calling Chempik Chompik due to the caster Chompix, and I might be calling Pima Prima due to the supermarket store chain here in Eastern Europe. Well, that's just going to be slip of a tongue sometimes. Speaking of tongues, a little bit of licking of damage from Pima onto Actor and Bum. The Bum is going to hit on the bottom lane, but we're watching on the mid. The Shadow Strike and the Swashbuckle back and forth happens. Bratari. And of course the Bum Doctor is getting a bit of a hit. And of course, our Russian colleagues are already talking about the Nothel projection and its overpoweredness. But a possible catch on the mid lane, or just a little bit of a mishap by Melajul. He's going to heal back up with the Water Rune, so no need to worry on the mid lane. Zippity zappity back and forthity on the bottom lane. Still, the fatal bonds with the Metamorphosis combo could be kind of fatal for the actor on the Hydra side. Yeah. Post first blood. So a lot of careful play between the two teams. Not out of the question that they scrimmed before, according to the current behavioral patterns on the map. As Milajul goes in with the jump. Did not go for the double jump facet this time around. He went for Thunderbolt. Yeah. Everything for that turn speed in it. In it, the point of the game. Turning faster, but decreased duration. It never seemed like the worthy sacrifice to me, but overall, looks like some people think it's worth it as Blurtari with the disconnection. Yeah, let's get things in order. It looks like 34 Me's or self-hates. A little Ricky build is currently working out pretty well. Getting that Blink Strike on and leveling it up early will grant you at least a few right clicks. And obviously, a good jump onto the range creeps will almost guarantee you the kill. 9 times out of 10. I think this does truly rely, a possible counterplay does rely on the fact that Dota2 needs to hit that Spear of Mars. But every time 34Me makes the jump there, of course FSD could be ready with the Liquid Fire and Liquid Frost. And the obvious Dual Breath. As the Bum Doctor gonna get hit hard on the bottom. It could also be that he's called Dr. Bum because of the fact that he likes playing on the bot line. Bottom. But yeah. Bad dad jokes aside, Blurtari does help him stay alive with that Shadow Weave. Though that residual damage does hurt a lot. The Ice Shards miss from the Doctor. And it looks like aggro will also happen on the top lane as 34Me and FSD try to shake off the aggressors, but Rare Gods is going in for the dive onto FSD. Malawi Dotos will be the first one to fall as FSD will manage to survive Rare Gods' dive. The Weaver not having enough damage is something of a sight for sore eyes. Sore eyes that have been gutted by Weaver players previously, many times. A way worse perspective when you're actually playing against it. But yeah, as night falls, the dive does not end. Rare Gods still wants to keep up the aggression on the Weaver. Out comes the Swarm as well. As a reaction into the Dual Breath, Rare Gods trying to go in for the dive on the wave. And as soon as the wave gets the damage, it's going to try and go for the cross pull. But with the small camp, it's a counter pull from FSD. He is adamant about keeping it in a good position. Getting control onto the wave as Rare Gods looks for the opportunity to Sukuchi in onto the Jakiro. Just has to wait for it to get out of the dodge range. As the spear lets loose, it's going to be a good play. Rare Gods will actually manage to get the Jakiro kill and put Eternal Academy on the board.
Dire's top tower is under attack. It fights for its life.
I have bunting for you.
As we move over to net worth charts, we can see that Hydra slightly in the lead, especially on the core side of things. Sports, not so much of that down bottom. Chempik can be approached. Out comes that Metamorphosis on time, but with the Shadow Weave, It's going to be a follow-up with the snowball. Dr. Bum gets the kill, but Costa is also making the rotation. They want their returned pound of flesh, and they will get it. But at the very same time up top, Malo Dotos will also suffer a death. And Hydra are not just going to be passive over here, as FSD already making his way over to the Shrine of Wisdom.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
No steal of the Wisdom on the Eternal Academy side. They are going to be in a bit of a deficit in terms of XP here against the Hydra boys. A bit of an awkward start, and also Pima and Chempik once again being dived on. This time joined by Melojoul. The snowball execution is proving to be extremely effective. Exploitari ready with the Shadow Weave bomb straight on to the Warlock as soon as someone makes contact. Look at that perfect positioning. As Melojoul stands on one side, Bum on the other. And that's almost a guaranteed kill right there. It's hard to confirm who would be a better combination with this Dazzle. Would it be a Clockwork? Is the Tusk actually the best one? But despite those questions, Melojoul is just going to sit on that shield rune all to himself.
Let us fight.
Getting that recharge in the bottle. In the water bottle. Yeah, 6-3. Just under 9 minutes. The 1 kill per minute average within me is satisfied. Kind of has been the average of Dota throughout the years. There are, of course, brawl-heavy lineups or brawl-heavy games. But usually, right? 1 kill per minute makes the heart go brrr.
Radiant's bottom tower is fading fast.
Chempik already in the jungle,
Learning to fear. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
moving his attention
Have called upon their defenses. Dire structures.
onto the other side of the map.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That was cool. Pima can't really do much to protect the bottom tier 1 tower, but could try. At the very same time, the enemy adversaries are already on the move. This rolling, turning Triangolier is just not having the bestest of times, as Bum will still go in for the deep dive. They're still going to be happy with all the rotations coming out from Eternal Academy to this play.
Can snuff the flames.
But yeah, I think Melojoul just kind of displayed as to why I do not enjoy this facet. Hitting things is rather hard, even though you have the higher turn rate. 34 me, skipping the Battle Fury.
Losing its foundation.
Going straight for the Diffusal Blade. He wants to be an inactive Ricky in this play as much as possible. Melojoul in a little bit of a pickle. We'll use the Shield Crash to get some protection, as with the backup play and the rotations, they'll instantly go for the catch. FSD thrown against the wall as the Nothel projection makes contact. Out comes that dual breath, and that slow will be enough for Self-Hate to take the kill. On to Chempik, they can go. Exploratari once again disconnected. Oh, I can already see the future. I can already see the chat. Mafia pause. They're fixing the match. Well, someone should fix Exploratari's internet at this point. That's all I want to watch. I came here for Dota, not a pause screen. What do you mean we have to wait for them to reconnect? For those of you who are not in the know of the pause rules, by the way, each team does have 10 minutes of technical pause time during the group stage. I still do believe we have that modification in the playoffs, where you have 15 minutes each team to basically have technical pause time. That is up to the discretion of the teams. This is an online tournament, not an offline LAN tourney. That is why, of course, live scores are not to be put in the chat. That will be considered as spoilers. It is in the chat rules. You will be banned. And yes, I'm sorry is not going to cut it. And yeah, if you do enjoy watching spoiler people be sent into the shadow realm, I do recommend my personal Twitch chat. This is not shameless advertising, but Base Defender and I usually tend to the unban requests, and we always usually have a fun little banter and discussion on rules of engagement on Twitch chat and tournament channels and other and such, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, that's where you mostly see people, cry and suffer and scream and cry and burn forever and ever till the end of time. But we love you. And we always need money. All powerful, all knowing, all wise, just can't handle money. Please DM me what stand-up comedian monologue that is referencing to. If you get that one, I will actually send you a prize. But I think it's a hard ask for a Dota audience to know stand-up comedy references overall. And it is a beautiful Friday morning here where I'm at. Undisclosed location. But I do hope you guys are also having a lovely Friday evening, whether it's at work or on the bus on the way to work, or you're already at lunchtime and just spending your lunch break viewing some Dota for your viewing pleasure. We're happy to entertain you. Of course, we do have a long day, so I am quietly hoping that this pause is not going to last forever and ever. Well, of course, in the first 11 minutes, it's an easy conclusion. Hydra will more than likely take the mid lane tier 1 tower as well. Capitalize on that early lead. Try to solidify that 3k net worth lead into a 4 to 5k one. Melojoule, without the arena, should not engage at all in any kind of fighting. And Chempik should go back into the river, despite him more than likely being aware of the fact that there should be an observer ward in that area, as it has been kind of the norm since 737 D or C. I do forget, though. But yeah. Obviously, if we think back on to last year's TI in Copenhagen, Mickey was namely bullied really, really hard by Gaming Gladiators, especially in game number 3 when he was, if I recall, playing the Nature's Prophet, and Gaming Gladiators did try their best to not be whitewashed for the second time in a row, but this time it did not happen. It's going to be interesting to see, though, now that the Gaming Gladiators roster has made it second place 2 times in a row. Will that team be as successful as previous? As, of course, all eyes on Hamburg. Everyone wants to get that piece of the pie. And of course, even though it's a little bit of a smaller, less succulent pie, right, with the smaller price pools and all, I've had interesting conversations about that one. But yeah, even though TI is the smaller tournament now, not the biggest one of the year, EWC, I believe, would take that title in the last 2 years. But even so, TI is everything. The whole season of tournaments is organized around that one event of the year. And obviously, right, everyone would agree that it's the highest prestige event overall. But let's see. As Hydra only has 5 more minutes left, Pratari will reconnect and play shall continue. Let's just hope. Akator has no more connection issues. The tier 1 pressure actually does not happen. There has been a rotation made by the Hydra forces. So I rather wanted to get Chempik over everything else. Metamorphosis used to farm. It's just another indicator that it's go time. FSD going for the wrap play as he sees Chempik. All eyes on him. One side we have a Ricky, the other, and that's an Ice Path Macro Pyre combo as the Dragon will burn you alive. Even so, if he would have used the Sunder, there would have been no chance of him surviving that one, in my humble opinion. But yeah, definitely a problem for Pima to solve, as time is of the essence. This advantage play is just working out really, really well for the Hydra side, as they'll just continue passive pressure onto the mid lane. Melajul sitting on the possible place of the 12-minute power rune, gets speared, gets locked in, and he even needs the Sonic Wave. The Raboom will eat the Illusion Rune, but should be a little bummed out losing his teammate. Kind of a nice fake out play from the Tusk on that mid lane, trying to show that one of his illusions is the real hero. Meanwhile, moving simultaneously with the illusion himself. Dionysus regroups once again. It will be a rough time as Self-Hate and FSD once again go for the Macro Pyre assassination here with the Dragon. As the Drakiro, I will not be surprised, will be the first face ban of many, many teams in the upcoming Visual Playground Universe 4, as well as the SL1 Relay.
Radiant structures are fortified. They require time. Radiant's middle tower is losing its foundation. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is losing its foundation. Dire's bottom tower hopes for aid.
4,000 in net worth lead. Hydra have a commanding lead when the second round of Shrine of Wisdom spawn. And it will be more than likely that they will be sacrificing their tier 1 tower up top just for them to start invading the Radiant jungle.
Radiant's middle tower is
As Eternal Academy makes the approach, Hydra actually deciding to walk back into their own jungle and make the counter play happen. Rare Gods is going to be the one caught out in the smoke screen and just getting gunned down by Plertari and Dr. Bum.
tower is learning to fear.
Yeah. Obvious rotation is obvious. At 15 minutes in, the Tormentor is alive and well. As once again, it is nighttime. Eternal Academy having no intentions of contesting this play.
Dire's Dire's middle tower is under attack. No
As
gale
Eternal
can stop the flames.
actually had that good old chance of 2 minutes to actually get this tier 1 tower undisturbed and unrotated on, as they've been looking for a play instead. Out comes the Spear of Mars, but not into the arena. Still be enough with the God's Rebuke to get the kill onto the Ricky. Is onto FSD. They make their move as well. Another Spear of Mars, this time hitting 2 supports at the same time.
Slain. Dire's top tower has been lost.
How funny would that an interaction be if you actually spear someone to someone and just nail them there, slowing down the back enemy.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Okay, I'll
attack.
stop giving Ice Frog ideas.
Like a ripe apple.
But I might actually send this one to Slacks. It would be a stupidest facet ever. But he's the only one I know who has the ear of Ice Frog himself.
A golden thread.
Radiant's middle
At the very same time,
tower is
34 me.
It will fall like a
Gonna be
ripe
found in the jungle.
Arcane reservoir.
Malloy Doto is trying to jump in and get that control on him, but no spear. And we'll have to wait just a little longer for the arena. 34 me with a smoke screen, countering the possible turnaround with the chaotic offering. It's not gonna happen, my friend. Good attempt at trying to run away, but even if you survived that, the ice path would have been what would have killed you. 34 me with that tippage. Tip him up or tip him over. As the observer ward, I do believe was found by Perfect.is courier, but the Dazzle doesn't really care at this point of the game. Macropyre will also be committed just for the extra damage for funsies. The Vaktor is just pumping in the damage with the Shadow Poison. I always call it Shadow Poison, but no, that's Shadow Demon's spell. It's Poison Touch, obviously. Yeah, with Shadow Weave. And Weave being its innate spell, Dazzle. Let's kind of ask for that as an instant spear along with the arena coming out from Malloy Dotos. I did say the team fight power on the Eternal Academy side, or the EA Games side, is kind of strong.
tower is losing its foundation.
Do you guys think they chose the EA Games name? Or EA name in general because they like EA Sports? Did they grow up on FIFA? Do they play Quidditch? Actually, I'm not gonna lie. The Quidditch game is kind of goated on one side. As the smokescreen keeps on lasting longer and longer, the Queen of Pain will be tricked by the trade. And with Chempik joining in to the play, this is going to be an interesting one. If they put down the chaotic offering here onto 2, make it 3, it could be massive. At the same time, it's just an Aegis burn on the Ricky. And they have lost Chempik in the fight as well. A triple going in the way of Hydra. Of course, it's only a double kill on good old Melojoule, but still. 3 deaths. Correction, 4 on the side of Eternal Academy. There's only a rare god is still left alive. Dr. Boom does find the Weaver. A huge snowball catch onto the Weave. And despite the Marsh Mage... Actually, I don't even remember. Is it the Marsh Mage that does the little tentacles? Or is it the other creep? Maybe it's the Croaker? I think it's the Croaker, right? Right. Yeah, let me check. Ah, it is the Croaker. So yeah, despite the Croaker trying to do the mini Ravage onto the enemy side. Poor old Rare Gods. Well, at this stage, should rename himself to... Highly wrecked by the Hydra team. 10 kills and 9k net worth in the lead. As the first tier 2 tower falls, just under 21 minutes
Pace of battle quickens.
in favor of the Hydra team.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
If top rotation comes out, I would be scared if my name would be Chempik on this map. Tricks of the trade and getting that connection off. A huge kill onto Pima. There is nothing the Warlock can do, as the 5-man rotation of Hydra will just collapse and slap onto the Eternal Academy side. Last tier 1 tower on the Radiant is about to go boom.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Their defense Dire's middle tower is under attack. No gale can snuff the flames.
Death's bounty.
Arena catch on to the Bum Doctor. But it looks like his butt is the one being examined right now. The Swarm, a runaway, it's not going to help you if you don't hit it down. And even though Player makes the rotation, he cannot get the Shallow Grave on time just yet. Despite all that, in the disengagement, Hydra are still looking stellar. As Ragots tries to keep contact with Player. But at the very same time, the real danger is 34 me. Good old self-hate. Just walking on about. As the impending doom just keeps on coming. The Ice Path will seal the faith of the God of War. And Rare Gods, all you can do is just try and run away. Another map swing indicated by the Pangolier. 34 me has already been up top in the Dire Jungle. We'll find Pima and execute the Warlock with ease. Who needs Battle Fury when you can farm enemy heroes? Chempik trying to make a little bit more gold. But even though his Yasha, or even possibly the full Manta is ready. No, only the Yasha. It's just not looking stellar for this Terror Blade. In with the Diffusal Blade jump. Locked in by Dr. Bum. Tricks of the Trade and Snowball on top of that. And the Terror Blade is gone.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. It shall encroach no more. I foresee the Radiant's top tower falling short. Top tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. It shall encroach no more.
34 me.
Arcane reservoir.
Standing by, ready to kill a Mars. God of War my ass. Who would win a fight? The small little invisible tiefling or the literal God of War? Well, with the help of a Pangolier, it should be the little tiefling. As Meligible just stands by, but eventually swashbuckles in for the kill. As most of the work was actually done by Self-Hate, let's just be honest here. Yeah, one of the biggest reasons I'm not personally a fan of the Pangolier is these map stuckage points. You just get bugged in while in the Rolling Thunder a lot of times. And if you just don't play the hero enough, or you haven't tested the map areas enough, taking on these fights with the Rolling Thunder, I always feel a little bit too awkward. I'm not gonna lie.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, 2/3 damage on 4 sides now with the Aghanim Scepter on the Pangolier as 34 me going deeper and deeper. Gonna get deleted out of the game. 2 ults will be committed for this one as BO3 gonna be the one tickled this time around. Out comes the Shallow Grave. They're gonna path up the ice here with FSD, but with no macro pyre, the chase is on. BO3 still trying to hang on, but he will still take 2 before he falls. Chempik with a Metamorphosis will want to take down this last 3. Gonna be adamant about chasing to get the team wipe. Pima gives off the vision onto Melojoul, while Dr. Bum is looking to keep up the pressure. Ice Path and the Walrus Punch and a roll-in with the Snowball will be enough to take out the Queen. Casta will be respecting the Bum Doctor's play. Chain, stun, and damage to death. This is the Queen of Pain. Still, 3-4-3. Hydra. Not going to be happy with that exchange, despite all that. They did lose 34 me there, which is a lot of gold in the bin for them, and an opportunity for Chempik to catch up. And as we know, the TB farms extremely fast, so giving them that opportunity is never a good sign. As interestingly enough, Chempik took his sweet time to finish off the Manta style. Will be rushing to get the diadem and the recipe. He was keeping his courier at the secret shop to get butterfly components, but eventually changed his mind just to get that dispel going. It will be nice in the smokescreen. That added half a second confusion could mean the difference between life and death for most of the players.
Precious bounty.
Obviously, I don't think the Manta style will make a difference for the Hydra side. It's especially due to the Shadow Weave. I feel extremely endangered when it comes to the Manta style. I would personally go for the Sange in this game. Shorter stuns on the Ice Path, as well as the Rolling Thunder stuns, would all be shorter in that situation. As the Ricky, now with the Disperser, having a Dispel of their own, is also gunning for that Manta style. In terms of stats, though, of course, the Manta is still the more viable option, and more than likely due to accelerating the farm speed. That's why a lot of people go for that one. But in desperate situations, I would argue for the Sange and Yasha, and desperately, Chempik will argue with the Hurricane Pike, but at the same time, Arena into the Chaotic Offering and the Sonic Wave. Will Hydra collapse? It looks like they will be committing a buyback on the Jakiro to try and get back into this fight. But FSD heroically coming back with the tier 1 tower on the mid lane, as of course Eternal Academy has had a hard time taking out these objectives. Self-hate really deep in the fight as Melojoul will join him. Out comes a Shallow Grave from BO3. It will be enough to make the counterplay. Pima, 130 seconds without the Chaotic Offering. It was thrown out into the arena, but it won't be available to save the TB as Melojoul looking to slow down the Warlock with a Diffusal Blade of his own. Contact happens. It's Costa looking for the counterplay upheaval, but at the same time, the Doctor will prescribe an uppercut into the air for the Warlock as Costa, diving a little too deep, gets the smoke screen treatment and will be deleted. Four die in an engagement that started out in the triangle and ends at the top lane of the Radiant. And with that dieback on the Warlock, a lot of things come to mind. But Eternal Academy victory ain't one of them. Roshan number 2, approached by the Dire side. So a 33-14 scoreboard. 33-22. 3-2-2 confirmed. Well, yeah. Jokes aside, Hydra. I don't think dominating is a good descriptive word anymore. Or smashing. Of course, we can go with the Suns fans' favorite, Gaben Shalakin. There's one thing I'll say about... Oh, hold on. Chempik. Gonna be approached, but the Hurricane Pike is helping him just a little. Out comes the Manta as he tries to dodge. Goes in with the Sunder onto 34 me. Can he just break the Aegis right here? He will certainly try. Onto Platari, they will make the move as Chempik will commit with a Metamorphosis. They will take down the Dazzle. As 34 me is in the wind. But I'm not sure they can make the catch onto him. They will try and contest the Lotuses as they will break the Aegis. They're gonna sit on the Ricky as with the upheaval. They look to lock him in. Out comes the Dust of Appearance trying to put him onto display. Costa will suffer for this greed as Hydra will be looking to punish it as much. Pima will still manage to TP out unscathed. Core for core exchange, and it looks like neither side truly came up on top of this one. To be fair, Eternal Academy did get a bit of a turn on the net worth lead, but all they got was 1k off that 22k massive net worth lead right there. Yeah, self-hate. At this point, he's just showing off, getting that Revenant's Brooch on top of everything else. The fact that the Revenant's Brooch is now a passive component and is not consuming mana on your attacks is definitely a big-ass buff to the item and is adding to the popularity of the item as much as it can possibly be. One thing I still can't get used to is the Silver Edge components. That's now back to Demon Edge instead of the Crystallis. But yeah, Silver Edge was way too good with the critical component and not just a break component. Well, speaking of breaking in critical plays, 34 me will easily take on the Weaver itself. Yeah. All the damage components, it's harder and harder to build aura items in this patch. But I would not be reminisced if I didn't mention Malloy Dotos actually going for Crimson Guard. That would be the optimal play in my eyes, but he's going for the Vice, Scythe of Vice precisely, and a Refresher Orb. A little bit surprised by that one, not gonna lie. It's a bit more power. Platari, Chempik. A little bit of a chase down between the two, but I don't think Self-Hate will find the jump on time this time. As it looks like Hydra are gonna force Eternal Academy to stop at that one objective. They won't even let them approach the bottom tier 1 tower. Back to the 22k net worth lead at 35 minutes in. And we are sitting at solid 51 kills on the board as of now. It looks like Chempik is doing his very best to at least get a little bit more net worth out of this map, but FSD can just easily deny the mid lane tier 1 tower. The only reason the Jakiro is not denying that tier 1, by the way, because I can hear everyone just screaming at the screen, why isn't he denying the tower? No, the mid lane tier 1, even with the minimal amount of HP, is a great cushion or jump point back into the middle of the map that allows you to either make the play into the enemy triangle or the enemy jungle. So you will try and hold on with tooth and nail to that objective as much as you can. The Disperser boosted Tusk will make a catch onto the Mars, who will be forced to use his BKB, and even with the nullifier, the damage, it's insurmountable, but there's nothing residual left on the God of War as the Null projection keeps on hitting. The Dazzle is just planking in the middle of the mid lane as Dr. Bum goes in for a Kobe. Ole football kick onto Chempik. And the Terrorblade Fußball will fall in 2 pieces. Pima with a post-mortem chaotic offering doesn't really do much as Costa tries to deal some damage, but it is all futile as Maloidotos will die as well in the middle of this play. Outmaneuvered and outplayed by a little bit of Dazzle shenanigans and a little bit of bowling with the Pangolier. I almost said Primal Ear. That would have been a weird hero. But if Valve wants to add to the caster confusion, definitely go for it. Primal Ear. Beastalier. Then we would have Primal Beast, Beast Master, Pangolier, and Beastalier, and Primalier. Now, that would be weird of a game. But speaking of weird, Hydra are just free to take 2 lanes at once. There isn't really much stopping him. Eternal Academy definitely isn't. As 3 racks are taken, the 4th one is next. And the 3rd set is just waiting for the Hydra team to make the approach up to the top lane. Self-hate, up front and center, onto the Warlock. An easy take onto the play. Kickback onto the Queen of Pain, who will try and make the commitment with the Sonic Wave. All he can do as an auto projection is going to get hit inside the arena. Maloidotos will need to use the BKB as Champix will try and right click through onto Pluratari. They will get the Dazzle but lose out on the Mars as it's a last stand coming out from the Eternal Academy. But the EA team is going to go down just like the Stalks after Anthem. But FSD locking in onto the Terrorblade, and will they get the kill before the Sunder? Chempik will not give in, not just yet, as Hydra might just be team wiped at the 40th minute mark. The last snowball dive coming out from Dr. Bum as he will roll through, blink out, and Maloidotos will do his best just to find the kill, as it is an ultra for the Eternal Academy carry. What a defense play. I said Hydra just getting it free. It was a little weird, but it looks like Eternal Academy were just getting their affairs together. They did spend 2 buybacks to get this approximately 8,000 gold net worth turn, as it will even give them 10% win probability favors from Lord Gaben himself. Chempik, they could finally look to break a tier 2 tower now that the whole enemy team is dead. They're all gone. As is what I call entertainment. 62 kills on the board. Chempik keeping up the pressure with some illusions and conjure images.
It fights for its life.
As a Tormentor is waiting. I do believe this is the third one. It has been quite ignored by both teams for a while now. And Eternal Academy will pick up their first Tormentor Shard given to Rare Gods. I always do forget that the Sukuchi leaves a bit of a mark now. But yeah, I always advise that carry reaver should buy this at the earlier times of the game, but never truly actually happened. A lot of people thought that the 1200 range is a little bit too close for comfort, but I always think that, you know, for farming, it would be an extra nice little addition to the play.
Dire's top tower is feeling its mortality.
Yeah, 5 smoke play. And as we know, kids, smoking kills, but let's just see. It will actually lead into any kinds of death this time around. Neither team is really rich on buybacks, to be fair. Hydra doesn't actually have any besides Melojule's Pangolier having the buyback. On the Radiant side, we only have Rare Gods and Costa holding on to it. But as Rare Gods shows, Dr. Bum goes in, and he will go deeper and deeper with a snowball. Melojule gonna beat a bowling ball here, but the Chaotic Offering turn comes out from the Eternal Academy. BKB committed by the Terrorblade as out comes an Ice Path as well from FSD, trying to lock in the enemy team fight. But Costa diving forward with the BKB. They will try and walk out of this one as 34Me tries to go in with the right clicks as much as possible, but now that the backline